All right, guys. We'll start. We'll get right to the point, just because I know you guys have families and you have lives and you have a business to run. And Carolanne looks like she's driving somewhere, so we don't want to take away from her precious time. Um, Thanks for jumping on the call tonight, guys. In case you don't know who I am one of Scotty Hobbs' top male coaches, and he is away and asked me to help out with the call. So a couple of things that he wanted to talk about. We are not exactly, but just a little over 2 months away from Summit 2016. And by a show of hands, how many people are going? I'm going. I know Steve's going. Okay, so we got a few of us going. Guys, if you are not going to Summit or you're on the fence of going, let's talk a little bit about Summit, because really it is the heart, it is the gem, it is the backbone of our business, going to this huge event of the year. Yes, we have little events like Super Saturdays throughout the year, but they do not compare to what Summit does for our teams, for our personal growth. Just surrounding yourself. This year, 30,000 coaches, and I guarantee it's more than that, because they opened up another like 6,000 people, because as far as I know, nobody is on the wait list, right? And if you are, then you're getting off, because I think they are sending everybody there, and it's going to be fantastic. So it's going to be busy. You're going to be seeing other coaches who have achieved success. One of my good buddies, Steve, is on the call tonight, as I see. He actually placed top 10 in the Body Beast competition last year. It was unbelievable. He worked hard on his transformation, and he got recognized on stage in front of everybody, and that was an amazing thing. I personally got to walk in front of 25,000 people and got recognized as a 2-star diamond, which was mind-blowing when, it was hot, but walking through that arena and seeing everybody and just seeing yourself there saying, wow, I did this. Right? It reaffirms the belief in what we do as coaches and that it's real. Some of us have friends and families, and even though they have some good intentions, they're skeptical. They're skeptical that we're involved in some sort of scheme or it's a fad. And really, we all know it's a lifestyle. A lot of us have changed in many, many different ways of our lives because of Beachbody. And being with other coaches, learning from them, hearing from the success stories, is great motivation and inspiration for all of us. I guarantee if you go to Coach Summit, your return on investment will come back to you tenfold. That is something I have seen in my business. That is something other coaches have seen through these huge events. And you get to surround yourself. Like, there's going to be people there that I remember last year, and I'm going to use Steve as an example because I can see his face. We were sitting at our hotel room. We all had this little meet and greet, and Steve was a little bit, had that later flight with his wife, Angela, and they were walking in the door, and we've never met each other. And, we were on our way out to go do something, but it's like we talked forever. We were like best friends when we actually got to see each other. We hugged, we high-fived. It was a very brief conversation because they just got in, they were tired, but it was like instant family. Right? You guys are going to see that when you go to Summit, because you're going to surround yourself by your whole team, not only your team, but all of Team Dynasty, all the people that you see that are, posting on your wall and messaging you and encouraging you. You get to see all those people. You're able to see the members of the Beachbody staff, and it'll feel like you know them, like you see Carl on all these videos and stuff too. Last year I was actually able to stand right beside Carl, and it was awesome. And it really is like, who they are, and you know what, sometimes they know who you are too, and it's a huge feeling when that happens. Being at Coach Summit inspires you guys to work harder in your business. If those other coaches can do it, then why not me? And that's what you're going to take away from it. A lot of successful coaches are there, and you get to get full training from them. They take the time out of their schedules and to teach you everything that they know. Really, these kind of events make us feel lucky to be at, because we get to surround ourselves with like-minded people. that we're maybe not used to. Yeah. Okay. Maybe you got one or two around you, but imagine 30,000 people downtown Nashville taking over 6 blocks, and you are a part of that crowd. And I'm not kidding you. We actually shut down 6 blocks of Nashville last year. It's incredible. The parties go on until late in the evening, as well as all the trainings through the day. Then you got the contests that you guys can enter. Prior to Beachbody Coach Summit, Beachbody holds several contests for the coaches, prizes, and really fun things that happen at Summit, including like photo opportunities with celebrity trainers, VIP passes to workouts with your favorite celebrity trainer. You got the Success Club parties. I actually was able to attend that last year, and that was, the food, the company, they had live music. It was just something that energized me throughout the whole event, was being able to get in on these other contests that you actually get to win prior to going to Summit. So my advice is to try and reach all of those contests that are available. This will push you in your own business to qualify for the prizes, but it'll not only that, it'll give you some really cool experiences. But the biggest thing, it's a great way to advertise about your business. It's a great way to advertise on your Facebook. Who knows, you might even get a viral video happening during Summit. You never know what can happen through that, but we'll talk about that shortly. So we wanted to talk about a little bit of Summit. You guys can shop the hottest new apparel and merchandise at the core. That's something you don't have a lot of access to. Yes, you get to go online, you get to pick the shirt there, but online does not do the core justice. There is so much you can buy, from Fixate to ladies wear to guys wear to hats, and you might even bump into one or two celebrities while you're up there if you go at the right times. So you also got the reward parties, like I was saying. You work out with thousands of other coaches at the super workout, which usually happens Saturday morning, and by thousands I mean 30,000. Like, no joke, it is streets full of people. And if you can just imagine 30,000 people doing hardcore, for example, 30,000 people doing jumping jacks, you want to pull out your cameras, because that is Facebook material, Instagram material. It's crazy, and the pictures do not do it justice. You have to be there to experience it. I had a hip replacement last year. No, sorry, not a hip replacement. I had a surgery that was supposed to prevent the hip replacement. So I really couldn't work out, but we were there, and just being in the center of that was mind-blowing. They got 6 or 7 massive drive-in TVs that you get to see, but you also got the personal trainers that are there, and you got, again, I can't stress enough, thousands of people busting their butts on their workouts in downtown Nashville. You also get to be the first to learn about the new products and program developments. For example, last year, it was the very first time that we got to hear about Hammer and Chisel, and we know how explosive Hammer and Chisel came in January. But we found out about it in July, so we were able to tell our teams. We were able to get some contacts. We knew that it was going to change lives, and you want to be the first to know about it. Just like leadership, I went to leadership in January, and I got to know about Country Heat before a lot of the other coaches did. So what did I do? Boom, got the information, blasted on Facebook, blasted on my social media, blasted on YouTube, and bam, that's expanding my network, which is something you guys really want to do for the future. You get to celebrate the newest Beachbody Challenge winners. Those are those people that are, lose tremendous amount of weight, but not only do they lose the tremendous amount of weight, they have completely transformed their lives. And to be able to witness something like that, there were a ton of tears in the audience. Sometimes you get to see Michael Neiman zip lining down the Coliseum, see Carl Deichler doing size. You never know what to expect when you go to Summit, but their production is massive. So I can't stress enough about Summit, guys. So if you have been on the fence, I hope I'm encouraging you a little bit to flip on the other side of the fence because you want to be there. If you're worried about the money, I know that some of us still have some rooms that are available. I also know that there are rooms available through Beachbody, but like Scotty always says, we don't care if there's 10 people in a room. Get there. We will figure it out. We are a team. We will have everybody there. Scotty's got 45,000 coaches right now, and he started with having 5 people at his first summit, I believe. And last year, Steve just gave me a nod, but I think he said that he had 800 last year of his team, and I think he's looking to triple that this year, right? So just to be able to, I don't know how many of you guys have met Scotty, but just to be able to hang out with him in the night, you get to see and understand how real of a mentor he is. And when you get to meet Scotty, you get to meet me, you get to meet Steve, you get to meet everybody. And you just realize that we're all just like you. Every one of us are just like you. Just, trying to build a life, as Scotty says, living life by design. Some of us are in the works of doing it. I know my buddy Steve is actually becoming a full-time coach in just about 2 months. I know I am becoming a full-time coach in 2 months. And it all started by, Summit was a huge part of my journey to get to where I am. So that being said, what is happening in Nashville as well is Ignite Nashville. We have Team Dynasty, Smart Ass Fitness that will be there. There's three of us, and the Bombshell Dynasty, I believe, that are going to be at this training session. It is happening Thursday morning, so it will not interfere with the rest of the weekend with Summit and all your workshops and stuff. It does not interfere with that whatsoever. It is training exclusive to our teams. We're going to have Vanessa Van Edwards, keynote speaker. Miguel Carrasco, who has just hit $1 million status. He has been one of the top leading coaches in Canada, with a fantastic team under him. So he knows how to lead. He knows how to build people. He knows. I have sat down with Miguel. He knows how to inspire you, but also to show you how to get to where he is. And he's very, very vocal about helping you get there, right? Jamie Fitzpatrick is also underneath him. Their whole downline is usually, like, the top coaches are great to talk with. Like, some of our team talk to them all the time. I talk to Jamie. I know Steve talks to Jamie all the time. And they, we really unite as coaches. Shay Stanford is also going to be there. She is a 15-star diamond, as well as a $1 million earner. She belongs to that millionaires club. Morgan Rieger, she is a 9-star diamond, 2 times elite coach, and she's only been a coach for 2.5 years. Arnold Nakaha, he is senior director of sales for Canada. He takes care of the Canada region. He is going to be speaking as well. And unfortunately for you guys, I get to host the event, so you get to hear me for like 4 hours with all these other coaches. So I'll be hosting and emceeing that show, but it really is being brought on by Miguel and Scotty. And then we have all these fantastic speakers to join us and to teach you. The training will include how to focus on you, the power of the mindset, and taking things to the next level. How to take what you've learned at Summit and apply it to your business. So you're going to learn how to take away all your experiences and bam, put it right towards your business. A lot of people are looking for those aha moments, which is fantastic. But without an aha, if you have an aha moment and you don't put it into action, you got nothing, right? So they're going to train you and teach you how to take that aha moment that you're going to get for 3 days out of there and really, really be able to focus and apply it directly to your business. So it is training that you guys want to be a part of, and it'll be the only chance that we have for a big team picture. We are going to be spread out everywhere. Last year, we were all in one hotel. Now, we're spread out among like 10 or 12 hotels. So I'm sure we're going to have some parties and stuff, but this is going to be your really only chance to have this big team picture. And you're going to want that for your business. You really want to be loud at Summit because you want to show everybody what we do as coaches, what we get to experience in our life as being coaches. And when you can show people our life by design, people are attracted to that. And you guys want to have as much, as many pictures as you can get, as many videos as you can get, because it's really going to jump your business from here all the way up to here. And you never know where you're going to be after you hit Summit. I can speak about it forever, but until you experience it, you don't know how it's going to change your life. And when you realize it, you're going to be on a call like this one day, and you're going to be telling your teams, you have to be at Summit. Non-negotiable, go. It will change your life, I promise you that. So now for our guest speaker, I hope she's ready. I hope she's all done driving and she's not going to crash. I see some trees flying behind her. I hope she's ready to go. Carolanne is a star diamond, goofy, honest, faithful, real, raw mom of 3 girls. She's been coaching for 3 years and literally took her network from 300 people to 42,000 followers and 2 viral videos within 2 weeks. So we are going to, actually, I'm going to make you the host. Well, you might not have any slides, do you? No slides? Okay, so I'm just going to make you, can you unmute yourself, Carolanne? Oh, we're playing tag.
There we go.
Perfect.
Can I go
Okay,
now?
so yeah, we're going to leave the floor to her. Thank you for being on the call. We really appreciate it. I know Scotty put some work into this to make this happen for us. And I know we're excited. I know I'm excited. I want to know how to get 42,000 followers in less than 2 weeks.
Oh my goodness. Well, I'm not that good with these technologies. So no, I don't have any slides, and I don't necessarily have like bullet points that you can like write down, because my gift is talking. That's what I do. I just talk a lot. But so I really appreciate y'all getting on here to listen to me talk, and to Scotty for inviting me to be on. It's so awesome. It's really cool of him to do that. So I'm going to tell you a little bit about how I became a coach, but I'm going to get to my aha moment. Everyone talks about their aha moment, and all of it revolves around obviously being yourself. But I just have to say, I'm pretty sure that most of my following came from people who really needed someone who could be that role model of good nutrition and health, because that is what I am about. I eat nothing but spinach, and I mean right out of the bag every time. It's just straight out of the bag. That's how I roll, and that is where my following came from. So we'll just get that out of the way. I'm kidding. But so I used to think I didn't have a story like most coaches. I didn't feel like I really had anything that made me stand apart. I didn't have some crazy transformation. I just was like, I'm a mom. I, had a couple of babies. I didn't have some drastic weight loss story. And I thought that's what you had to have. I really thought you had to have this really amazing transformation, this before and after picture that would catch people's attention, and then they'd want you to be their coach, and then they'd want you to work with them. And, I've been a coach for 3 years, and it took me 2 to figure out who the heck I am and who I am as a coach, and what this platform of being a Beachbody coach is actually going to be for me, uniquely for me and my personal experiences in life and characteristics. And some people are probably thinking, well, it's really easy to say be yourself, but how do you know who you are? What if you don't know who you are yet? And so I'm going to tell you a little bit about how you figure that out and how I did. So my first 2 years as a coach, I was doing what all of us are doing, and I'm going to do those 3 vital behaviors and be consistent. And then I would get lazy and not do the 3 vital behaviors, and then I would get back into it. and I was just kind of fluctuating up and down, but I was basically bulldozing my way towards what I thought was my vision, which was superstar. I want to be a superstar coach. I want to have this big team. I want to be a millionaire. And I wanted to help people too, but majority of my focus was more on the business side of how I'm going to get there. And my priority, I didn't really realize that God had landed me here as a coach for a much higher purpose that had absolutely nothing to do with Beachbody, which sounds weird to say, right? So I think like what I discovered is I got myself to Diamond in 9 months, and then I kind of sat there for a while. I sat there for a really long time. I didn't know what to do. Like, how do I start getting these stars? How do I get past here? And, you listen to all the calls, you do all the things you're supposed to do. Reading, I slacked on personal development. Number one mistake right there. But then what happened was I'm a Diamond coach, and I have a 6-year-old niece. I live in Missouri, but I'm from Alabama, and I have all my family back in Alabama. And my niece had just turned 6 years old, and she was diagnosed with cancer, which was a huge shock. It was unexpected. And it was something I've seen a lot of coaches do, and a lot of coaches even in my team do, is that when life throws something really hard at you, especially if you're not expecting something, or all of a sudden life happens, things get hard, things come up out of nowhere, coaching seems to be one of the first things people just kind of push to the side and say, well, I'm going to have to give on this right now because I just can't do it. And for me, what happened was I flew out to St. Jude to go see my niece. I was 6 months pregnant, and seeing everything she was going through, her first week at the hospital, she endured like 7 surgeries. She almost died. Her body shut down. And she was super depressed. She didn't understand what was happening. She had tubes all up in her. She had box in her chest, a lung drip, a feeding tube. She had a emergency trach put in her throat. And I'm watching her go through all that, and I'm watching all these children and how sick they all are, and toddlers, babies, and these families. And I'm sitting here watching them, just all they're focused on, all they care about is just trying to keep their children alive. That's their entire world, is nothing but keeping their babies alive. And for my sister, that's what, in an instant, that's what her world became. And so what happened was I realized I didn't push coaching aside. If anything, it thrusted me forward, and it became I became more passionate about helping people discover what's more important, what's important in life, and seeing how short life really is and how quickly things can change. I realized that my purpose on this earth isn't to help people just get a workout program and complete a workout program and drink Shakeology, but my purpose was to help people fulfill their lives and live in a way that is a high quality of life, and stop just going through the motions, and actually embrace who they are, what their God-given gifts are and characteristics, and just being a person who tries to get people to come out of their shell. And something I've always known about myself is that I was goofy, but I wasn't utilizing that in my business at all by any means. I was just very serious. I kind of lost that part of myself as a mom, 3 little girls. I just was kind of going through the mom motions, and forgot who I was, and forgot that was a big part, being silly and goofy. And I came home from visiting my niece, and I sat in my garage by myself, and I decided that I was done trying to do it by myself, that I was done trying to make this business work myself. I was done having self-confidence and just trying to banging my head against the wall, I'm going to get there, I'm going to get there, I'm going to get there. And I gave it away to God. I told him to take my business, take it, just take it. And if this is where you want me to be, if this is where I'm supposed to be, this is my purpose, then you take it and do what you want with it, and I will do whatever you call me to do. And how did I do that? He put the words public speaking into my head for like 6 months. straight. And I told my team this. I'm going to do public speaking. I know it. I'm scared to death, and I know this isn't my thoughts. This is what God's telling me I'm going to do, because I just keep thinking it. And I didn't know how that was going to come about, but I told him, if you give me the opportunity, I'll do it. And then as time went on, opportunities just kind of started to pop up, because I was vocal and open about, I thought I was going to do public speaking. So I got to speak at a women's event. And I started, for a year, y'all, for a whole year, from the moment that I gave it to him, I decided to just be myself. And a big part of who I am is goofy. And I like to make fun of myself. And I like to make fun of the silly things that I have done or do that I know are silly and goofy. And so it's like, I'm going to make fun of myself. So I've been doing these videos for a year. And the thing is, I really struggled with my like page, because I had a pretty good little following on my personal page of like 1,000 people, which I thought was like kind of amazing. And but I struggled with the personal page stuff, because nobody saw anything over there. It felt like nobody cared over there. Didn't get a lot of interaction. But I felt in my heart that I needed to post the stuff over there anyway. So every day, I would share my testimony, my mistakes, my struggles in life, everything that every single person, every one of you have a story, because you wake up breathing, you have a story. Every single day is a different part of your story. Every time you have a struggle, every time you make mistakes, every time you've been mistreated, abused, some people who really opened up lately, like battling addiction, overcoming any kind of abuse, or maybe you were the one who made mistakes towards someone else, or whatever. That all of that stuff is part of your story, every single bit of it. And a lot of it's the stuff that you don't want to talk about, that you don't want to put out there. It's easy to post videos of yourself working out, and it's easy to say I drink Shakeology and how great and wonderful it is. It's really hard to open up and say, hey, you know what? I made this mistake a long time ago, and this is what I learned from it. Or to, in the moment, say, hey, you know what? I had a cheeseburger and I'm a health coach. And things like that I did for a year, and it went unnoticed. It went completely unnoticed. And one day, I was in my basement, and I know a lot of you probably know what I'm talking about. You hear any specific song and it distracts you. And our team had done this challenge called a Dance Like Nobody's Watching challenge a long time ago, and it went really well. Everyone really enjoyed it. Everyone had fun with it. And so I thought, we haven't done that in a while. We need to do that again. So the one song I always have on my playlist that gets me every time, that I cannot not break it down when I hear it, is Salt and Pepper, Push Good. And so I used that song, and I made the video and I posted it. And for whatever reason, that's the one that it just took off. It took off. It not only took off on my personal page, but then I noticed it was getting a lot of shares on my personal page. I was like, I'm going to go put it on my like page too. So I put it on my like page, sponsored it for $5. I think right now the views that I paid for is probably around like 20,000 or something. The organic views is, over 10 million. But the difference, the aha moment, was that moment in my garage when I said, I'm done trying to do this myself. I'm done trying to do this on my own. And I decided to just listen to whatever it was God was telling me to do. That tug on my heart, the pull, whatever direction he was pulling me in. If it was getting up in front of people and talking, that's what I was going to do, even if I was scared to death. And when I made it known that, and I proved over and over and over again over the course of about 6 months that whatever he told me to do, I was going to do. When I did that, he gave me my audience. He didn't just open a door. He blew the house down and gave me my audience. He gave me an audience that has just reached 43,000 today. 43,000 people. And I thought public speaking was going to be, getting up at some women's events. I said out loud to my coach, Amy Grasso, a few months back, I said, I want to speak at Summit, and I want to let all the coaches know, over 20,000 coaches know what happens when you get God in your business. And when you let go of your fears, and when you just embrace who he has created you to be, what happens? Because that ain't normal. 300 to 43,000. There's no other way to describe it other than that was God providing me the audience that I would be public speaking to, because now every single day I have a responsibility, and every single day I get on live, I get on my page live, I do live feeds, and I don't have a clue what I'm going to say before that countdown gets to 1. But when it does, I just let it loose. I tell him, speak through me, say what you need me to say, and I don't worry about it. There's no fear anymore. The beauty of letting go of fears of what people think of you and handing it over to him is that the fear you have is gone, because you don't have to rely on yourself anymore. I rely on him. I know he'll let me know what I need to do, what I need to say, how I need to say it. And I just open my mouth and trust he'll speak through me. And what's happening is incredible. It's absolutely incredible, because I was just like you 2 weeks ago. 3 weeks ago, I was just a star. I'm a star diamond. I will be a superstar diamond this time next year. I have no doubt. But I was on calls like this, and I was kind of scratching my head, like, I'm just going to keep doing it and keep doing it and keep doing it. I was rooted in who I am, what I'm here for, why I'm a coach, what this platform is for me, because for me, it became much bigger than Beachbody, and you have a lot more to offer than Beachbody. And when you discover what you have to offer outside of Beachbody, that is when you are really, really going to find the people who resonate with you and really need the value you have to offer. And it's also how you'll find the people who don't, which is a good thing. I mean, my page gets unlikes by the masses every single day. And that's okay with me, because there are certain types of people that I'm not going to resonate with and that I'm not meant to help. But because of being who you are and being rooted, deeply rooted in what your purpose is within this platform, which for me is helping people embrace and get through the struggles of their past, and to grow in their relationship with the Lord. And first and foremost for me is love God, love others, and that's it. That's the only thing I care about, is just love others, love others, love others. Give value anywhere I can give value. It doesn't matter if they're going to purchase a challenge pack from me. If they have a problem and I have an experience in life where I can help them with that problem, I'm going to give them the value I have. Now it's on a different scale, so I have to utilize my live feeds for that. But, I'm very grateful for that platform that he's led me to now. So for me, the loss, my niece passed away 15 months later after she was diagnosed. And so for me, there was just this higher calling of people knowing what's really important. And you have a platform that you have the chance to utilize your unique gifts, purpose, and qualities to lead you into your calling. And if you don't know what your gifts are, it's probably things that you don't even recognize, because it comes so naturally to you that, like, your friends and family would say it, but you would never even realize it. Did you want to touch about the other videos? Yeah. And so, the salt and pepper video was over 12 million views at this point. And what happened, I need y'all to understand this too. So what happened though is, how many times have you seen a viral video and actually gone to the page, liked the page, stuck with the person, and continued to check back in with them to see what they were doing? There's very few, right? So because of the consistency over the last year of sharing who I really am to my core, and what my beliefs are, and what my passions are, and what my message is, because of that, people stuck with me. It has nothing to do with the viral video. I mean, that plays a small part. People could have easily watched that video and just moving on, but they didn't. They liked my page, and not only did they like my page, but they stick with me every single day when I do live feeds. I usually have around 500 comments, people interacting with me and sticking with me every day. And then that comes from the consistency of posting every single day what I feel strongly about in my message and my, testimony, and doing that when it felt like no one cared, doing that when nobody was commenting, when nobody was viewing it, and when nobody was liking it. And that was for a whole year of doing that, but doing it in faith. Sorry, I got a phone call. But then, I've always had funny video ideas. So like when people saw the salt and pepper video, they ended up scrolling through all my other videos that I've been posting for a year. And, turns out a lot of people think I'm goofy and funny, and they get my sense of humor. And so from here on out, it's just continuing to just really focus on just being who I am and not trying to be anybody else or freak out over the amount of people. Cause I mean, now it sounds amazing, but it is overwhelming, but just really staying focused and having that vision and staying true to who you are. And so, if I think of things we all can relate to, and I'm a coach, so that's why I use Beachbody Coach, obviously, but like, I pulled into my driveway and I had this bag of French fries that I was chowing down on. French fries don't make it from the restaurant to my house ever. I eat them in the car. And, I've got my invisible neighbor who I like to talk to, which I think goes over well with everybody. But so, these little ideas just pop in. And if I have an idea, I go with it. And I've never once posted a video and not been scared and not been fearful that nobody was going to like it. Nobody was going to think it's funny. I'll send it to one of my top leaders and I'll be like, what do you think about this one? And she's always, and before she can answer me, I posted it already. Because it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what she thinks. I know and trust that when things pop into my head now, then, yeah, that's funny. It got shared. But when things pop into my head now, I know to just go with it because, I'm comfortable with who I've been created to be. I'm comfortable with that particular gift. And, your gift may not be like being totally goofy and crazy and sense of humor, but you have a gift and you have several gifts, and you really have to put effort into digging deeply into who you are so that you can figure out how to combine your gift with your purpose, and then blasting it and putting it out there and not being afraid. And y'all, live feeds, you gotta do live feeds, and they're scary and like, I mean, really scary, especially when it's like counting you down, your heart starts racing. But that's okay. It's okay to be scared. I mean, the first thing you could say is, "Yo, I'm scared," and people are gonna relate to you because anybody would be scared doing that, right? So practice getting on those live feeds. Practice in your challenger. Get your challengers doing live feeds. I have my first challenge since everything happened, and they're all doing live feeds, and it's the best interaction I've ever seen in a group before. They are getting so close with each other, and it's like everyone really feels like they truly know each other. So I really suggest really utilizing the live feeds every opportunity you get, letting people see you and hear you and feel the passion behind what you're saying, and hear your tone of voice, so they don't read it a way that you didn't write it. Voice messages on the voice, like anything you can do for it to be more personable, do it. Because the number one thing I've heard I've got 15 challengers right now. I've got 12 girls who want to be a coach right now in a group. And then I've got wait lists for June and July already. And every single one of those people say, "You're real, you're real, you're real, you're real, you're real." So if there's one thing that you have got to be, in my opinion, to really resonate with people and find your tribe, is be so real, even when it's embarrassing, even when you're being real about things you maybe are insecure about or uncomfortable with. Do it anyway. Just be so super real. Just be who you are, right down to the core of your being, and people will resonate with you and love you for it. And some people might not like you for it. Trust me, I got plenty of haters too. But it doesn't matter, because the ones who love you are the ones that matter. And you'll have so many more of those than you will of anyone, who doesn't resonate with you. So yeah, I think that's, and like I said too, the public speaking thing, like I've got my live feed, but then, the summit, after summit, the weekend after summit, they are flying me out to Ohio to speak at the Ohio Super Saturday, which is really awesome. They're going to put me up and fly me out there to speak at that Super Saturday, which is so cool. And, getting to be on this call for Sky Hobbs' team. I mean, are you serious right now? I was like, me? Are you kidding me? These are these opportunities that are coming up that I have to give all the glory to God for, because my aha moment was when I let go and gave it away to him. So that's my story, and I'm not, ever going to hold that part back. So I think I said everything I wanted to say.
Well, guys, that is she pretty much kept it real through that whole presentation. Um, you know, what I took from this, guys, and a lot of you guys will be able to see this in your journeys of being a Beachbody coach, is it doesn't happen all the time on day one. It doesn't happen all the time in your first month. Yes, we have been blessed with some people that have been working really hard, and you see that they hit diamond, and someone just hit diamond in 43 days on our team. Dominique just hit diamond in 7 days. But you know what? A lot of us don't start finding ourselves until after that 1 year mark, 2 year mark. She's been doing this for 3 years, and she stepped out of her comfort zone. She believed in her faith, and she just went for it. And look at where it's brought her now. Now, I can only imagine where this is going to take her and her team now. Like, for what she has shared with our team, I'm guaranteeing she's sharing with her team. I also guarantee that all her coaches right now are stepping out of the box and, being a little more courageous and maybe doing those live feed videos as well and stepping out of their comfort zones. And really, guys, this is why we do these team calls, is to bring on these inspirations and, motivators to come in to help us reach harder and higher for our goals and how to get there. It's duplicatable. It really is, 100%. I'm not saying go out to your car right now and pretend you're talking to someone eating French fries, but find your own way of communicating with everybody else. Find your own way of expressing yourself. And like she was saying, if you just leave it to fate and just throw yourself out there, send it out to the universe, it's going to come back to you 100%. So Carolanne, thank you for sharing that with us. Guys, I am going to just hit stop here.